happening, everybody? Appreciate you guys checking in on a Wednesday. We're hitting you from the Raider War Room. Man, we got a lot to talk about. We had a pro day, a very, very anticipated pro day from our guy, Fernando Mendoza. And the first thing I want to know is, chat, what was your thoughts of the pro day, the performance? Did you have any expectations? I'm going to throw that out to you first. We're going to chop it up, all things pro day as it relates to Fernando Mendoza. But before I say what's up to my guys, I'm going to put a little bit of banner up and go. Look, rate it 1 to 10, 10 being the best. What was your thoughts of Fernando Mendoza's pro day? Again, 10 being the best. Rate it 1 to 10. And give me your thoughts, because I think ever since the pro day went down, a lot of people kind of came on, gave their take, and there was a lot of positive takes. That's for damn sure. And so we're going to jump into it, and we're going to see what your guys' thoughts are. But definitely load us up with the comments. Let us know. But I got to say what's up to my guys, man. Appreciate everybody rocking with us. I'm 805 Raider, but I got Chris Flex Show Podcast on this side. Got the Severe Raider over here. Double tap that screen, hit that like button before it gets too crazy in this building. So, but gotta say what's up to my guys, man. Chris, what's happening, man? What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Glad to be back with my brothers, man. There was a nice little pro day today, huh?
Nice,
fans, y'all love it. Put that rate in the chat. 805. Why you take a sip when I said that?
I'm just getting ready. I'm buckling myself up. God damn it, this is what I got to do. Severe, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing well, man. Powering through purpose.
Power through purpose. He getting through.
Getting through, man. Protecting my peace, man.
Oh yeah.
You have to put that on like my computer screen where nobody can see off to the side, just as a constant reminder.
Hashtag power through purpose, man. That's what us Raider fans got to do.
Oh man, that's good shit. Hey, power through purpose. Make sure you guys look it up on YouTube without question. Look that up.
Changed my life.
Changed my life.
Changed my life.
So, all right, we're gonna say what's up to the chat real quick as everybody's kind of popping in. We got Choose Finest. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you rocking with us from Hawaii, man. Good seeing you. We got Jack in the building as well. What's happening? Where's the flag? What's popping, man? Appreciate you. We got Jeff in the building.
We got Jeff.
He's here. Alex is here as well, man. Appreciate you rocking with us as well. And I see one, the only. We got Sacktown in the building. What's happening, big guy? We also got Nicholas in the building as well. Appreciate you rocking. Real quick, just so you guys know, we're going to be at the draft. And so hit us up on social media. Unless you just hate my takes, then don't hit me up on social media. Don't try to find me at the draft. But we are going to be at the draft. Pittsburgh. Hit us up on social media if you're going to be there. I know Jeff's going to be there. We'll put some names and faces and have a good time. Also, at the same time, if you're in the SoCal area, May 16th, the Raider Nation Summer Kickoff, definitely hit us up as well. We're going to try to rock through and be in those parts. Good way to kick off the summer and get ready for the football season. Raiders Crusaders on IG puts it on. If you want more details, shout out to Sacktown. I know he's going to be there, man. It's going to be good to link up with him. It's going to be fun. Got one more, Windy City. What's going on, man? You're saying, what up, brothers? He's got it. 8.5 on the pro day. A solid 8.5.
Pause.
Brimble Blood. What's going on, man? You can't say that after what you just said.
You said that way too passionately, man. Sheesh. Welcome back, me. Hey, PTS is back, baby. PTS is back.
All right, so here we go. No, we got Jeff. He's got a couple comments. He goes, too bad there was nothing worth watching on TV today. I watched reruns of Gilligan's Island from 2 p.m. Eastern on. But hey,
salute to Ginger.
3. Hey, it wasn't Ginger. What's the other one? What's the other one?
Oh,
Marianne.
Marianne.
Bro. Yeah. Ginger was.
Yeah. Marianne. That's all. Yeah.
She built like this. Marianne had a little something to her. A little something to her.
So shout out to Jeff for taking a break from Ginger and Marianne to stop with this one, man. Appreciate you. You're also saying no pass rush, no DBs press the receivers or tipping the ball. Look like Superman in shorts and a t-shirt. Look, there are things that I look for in a pro day. It doesn't matter if it's Fernando Mendoza or what have you. It's really any quarterback that warrants enough attention of a pro day. There's things that I look for. There's things that I want to see, because that's your last true opportunity for most teams to be able to see you perform on the field. And so if there's any question marks, if there's something that they can show that they've been working on a little bit, a lot of quarterbacks have done that in the past, where they just try to showcase a little bit what they've been working on, and it kind of puts some things at ease. And there's limits to it because, again, no defense, no pass rush, no shoulder pads. There's limits to it, but sometimes you can put some things at ease. And so I'm going to kind of go through some of the things that I look forward to in the pro day. And again, it's not just Mendoza specifically, but it's just in general. So let's do this. We got a couple more popping in, starting with L11. I'm going to star him down, Chris, if you want to say what's up to the rest of the crew popping up in here. I'm going to star him as we go down.
What's going on, Truth? With Truth Finest in the building? Or wait, yeah, where we at? Truth Finest? Yeah, what's going on, Truth Finest? Got Jack in the building. Where's a flag in the building? What's going on?
Farther down.
Lower? My bad. Where we at?
Start with L11, right past Brim Blood.
Let's see where we at. L11. Oh, okay, there, my bad. Salute to L11 in the building. What's going on? Ryu Ken, what's going on? I was watching this pro day, and his arm is better than I thought. Okay. Salute to you. D Money in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you. Got Art White in the building. So was your mind put at ease now, guys? Just sit back and wait a little bit. 805 is going to let you exactly know where his mind is. He's going to power through peace. # power through peace.
Stop saying it.
Your mind and let your conscience be free.
My man Raider Rundown in the building, tuning in to see how long it takes before y'all don't know ball. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming because they don't know yet, but they about to find out that especially 805 don't know ball.
I forgot ball 42 years ago. I'm sorry. Exactly. It was 42 years ago where I lost all my knowledge of the game of football. I don't know what to tell you. But shout out to Rundown, man. But guys, up top, rate it 1 to 10. What was your opinion of the pro day? 10 being the best. Definitely put that in there. Also, are there things that you look forward to during the pro day? Are there things that you want to see a quarterback possibly do? There's certain things that quarterbacks typically do in pro days, and put them in the chat. Let me know if there's something that you were looking forward to. So Severe, I'm gonna throw it to you first, man. Did you have any expectations? Anything you're looking forward to watch during the pro day? Did you want to see anything? Let me know of any expectations, and were those expectations met at all? Because according to Art White, he had to put us at ease at this point. So let me know what's your thoughts.
At ease, cadet. No, the main thing I wanted to see is that I figured he'd try to do some drop backs. So he'd take some simulated snaps from under center. So I want to see that. His footwork wasn't the best. You can tell he hasn't done it a lot, but you can also tell that he's been working at it. That was the main thing I wanted to see. I mean, I don't look. Jamarcus Russell has the greatest pro day of all time, right? As stated by Mike Mayock and Mel Kiper and several other people, the most impressive pro day they've ever seen in their life was Jamarcus Russell. So I don't put too much stock into pro days. Most of the time, guys aren't doing anything. First of all, there's no pass rush, no DBs. It's scripted plays. They know exactly what the guy's going to be running on, throwing passes on air. So, like, what can you really take from it? Not much. So, I mean, like, if you throw at the combine was like semi-unscripted with receivers he doesn't know in an uncomfortable setting, okay. Let me see how good your arm actually is in an impromptu situation. But there, where everything is scripted and he knows where everybody's going to be, I mean, like pro days are, I don't want to say a waste of time, but they're essentially a waste of time.
I'm with you. A couple more popping in. What up, Marcus Banks? What's happening, man? Appreciate you rocking with us. I'm gonna get a couple comments. I'm starring them. I see them, but I see Enoon. Cool Raider. What's going on, man? Appreciate you rocking. But I do see a couple of chats. I'm gonna kind of get to those, but Chris, I'm gonna throw it your way. Just Any expectations that you may have had with the pro day? Maybe something that you were looking forward to seeing. Were any expectations met, or were you kind of left one for more? Chris, I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to see I wanted to see his footwork. I wanted to see how he can move. But it's no pressure. At the end of the day, there's no Myles Garrett coming after him. There's no Aaron Donald or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting there comfortable, with his guys that he's been practicing with all year. And like you said, you can only get so much from the pro day. I think someone like a Derek Carr and like anyone who's just good when there's no pressure they're always going to shine, and in a pro day setting. So, it was just one of those things. I didn't expect him to come out and shit the bed or anything. He takes his craft seriously. So I knew that he was going to look pretty polished, which he did. But I'm not going to say I was super impressed, but I wasn't disappointed either. It was kind of what I expected. So what I saw today did not move the needle at all for me. What I thought about him yesterday is the same as what I thought today. So,
and I understand that we are kind of the rare instance, right? I think 99% of people really, really like Fernando Mendoza for their own reasons. And so, when it comes to myself with the expectations of his pro day, obviously want to see him work under center, right? Want to work under center and just see kind of how comfortable he looked, how clean he looked. But my thing is I could care less what he looked like with a simple 3-step drop, simple 5-step drop. Like those are very simple, basic things that he probably learned in high school. He probably learned a little bit in college prior to go to Indiana. I wanted to see how he looked through play action, and not just play action and staying within the pocket. I want to see him roll out.
Yeah.
I want to see you throw on the run. I want to see – there's a lot of times in almost every single pro day you have somewhat of simulated pressure, right? You have another quarterback coach or a coach that kind of runs up playing like a blitzing linebacker or an edge, and you want to see him kind of throw on the run with a clean get out and throw on the run, see how the accuracy is. How do you get your shoulders around? How do you get your body in position to make the throw? But at the same time, I want to see you navigate just a little bit of pressure. You'll get an extra coach to kind of simulate a blitzing linebacker off the edge. And as soon as you execute that play action, you flip those eyes and shoulders around. Now you got to jump the pocket a little bit. You got to climb up into the pocket, or you got to move up into you got to move and avoid that rush a little bit. And how does your mechanics look when you're avoiding that rush a little bit? That's kind of what I want to see. And so anybody can kind of go a couple weeks and get a 3-step and a 5-step drop down. That's not that hard for a guy that is as smart as Fernando Mendoza is, and he is athletic. And so, but I wanted to see him on the move because we didn't see it in Indiana. You saw him roll out, but you never saw him be able to kind of navigate, step up into the pocket or avoid the pressure a little bit and then make that dialed in throw, drive that ball down the seam. So again, never really saw it, but I wanted to see him do it a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of it at all. I kind of got the statistics. I'm going to wrap off kind of how many deep passes he had, how many I thought were accurate, how many weren't accurate, how many snaps he took under center, how many times he actually rolled out and what it looked like. And so that was kind of my expectation, but at the same time, I'm going to kind of break down what my thoughts were of the overall pro day, but I definitely want to get to the chat a little bit. And so let's get to the first one. Ryu Ken, you said, I think he has the work ethic to improve his under center stuff. Chris, I'll throw it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on that one?
No, I agree there. I think anything as far as, tightening up his game, trying to attack his weaknesses, I think, he'll do that. I have no issue with that. I think his work ethic is going to be there. I think he's going to be, laser focused on it. So, no, I agree. I do think he can get better. I think he'll get better at a lot of things. I just, just when I look at a first overall pick, I just don't see it. But as far as work ethic, no problem at all there.
Severa, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I assume he'll get better at it just through repetition. I mean, you would presume somebody would get better at it. I mean, operating from under center, that's not the biggest concern for me. I think that's one of the concerns you have for the guy that hasn't done it in quite a long time, especially with, like, as you brought up earlier, run actions, bootlegs, stuff like, moving the pocket, stuff like that. Like, how does he react? Or how does he handle that kind of stuff? But understanding, I presume he would improve just through sheer repetition.
Yeah, and I think no one's gonna dispute or argue his work ethic, right? I think there's a really good. He seems like he has really good work ethic, right? No one's in the classroom with him. No one's in the film room with him. Now, one thing I will say is that if you go back and watch Curt Cignetti in the way that he actually described what the week looked like in practice, he basically said they got about 25-minute walkthroughs on Monday, Friday, and then you have about an hour to 30, 45-minute practices Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, that doesn't include what they do outside of the film work and stuff like that, but I'm not going to discredit any work ethic that the kid had. I think he is a hard worker. I think he puts his time in. But again, how many times do we have to kind of reference that topic? I think he can be coached up to do it. I think that he has the work ethic to do it. I think that he can learn it. If you say that too many times, that means he's not checking too many boxes. You're just hoping that he can do it. And you can, and if he can't do it at the NFL level, then you're always going to go back and reference and go, damn, maybe I should have watched the tape. Maybe I should have listened to what the tape was telling me. So again, I'm not going to question his work ethic. I do think he has it there. Rundown, I just wanted to see the footwork out of center in the middle deep throws, how they looked. We're going to get into that because he did showcase some deep middle throws like he did in the season, but we're definitely going to get into that. D-Money said solid 8.5. I felt like the ball could have been a little more not the chest.
Not the best, maybe a little bit.
Not the best. It was a little behind, but he can fix that with his accuracy. We're gonna get into the deep balls in just a second, man. Big luck, best arm I've seen today. Hey, that's
today.
That's a very true statement.
It's very true.
I
know. I was watching some kids warm up at the park, man. I don't know if I don't know. I might have to.
I'll drink to that. No, don't get twisted. Hey, Mendoza has a very strong arm. No questions with his arm strength. Mendoza looked strong and carried himself well, put on some muscle, and he showed good zip on intermediate routes. Let's see. I'm going to kind of scroll back down. Let's go. Truth finds Mendoza was at his best when pressure was the highest. I'm not going to deny he had his moments. Like we've said it so often, is that you're right. He's had his moments. You can probably count on one hand how many moments there actually was. But without question, he's had his moments. Severe, I'll throw it to you first, man. Just what's your thoughts on that one?
He had his moments. Part of that speaks to him, his preparation and how he's able to handle those pressurized situations. I think a lot of that also goes to his coaching staff and how they prepared the team, because there was a lot of situations in big moments. Guys made big plays for Fernando where they were in some contested catch situations. Think about the game. I think the Penn State game, was it, where there was a high pass in the back of the end zone. Omar Cooper climbs the ladder, has to get his foot down with two defenders right there. I think about the catch that Becker had to make for a touchdown and contest it. That was really, like, as a catch, not a lot of, like, nobody on Oregon is making that catch. Maybe Kenyon Sadiq. But, so those guys played a part as well. Like, those guys helped as well. But Mendoza, he definitely did his part. So, but I think what you were speaking to, 805, I think with True Finest is I think it may be misinterpreting, is not pressure like the moment. Talking about like when there's a guy bearing down on him, like there's a quarterback pressure, he has to escape or make a move and then reset and deliver a throw. How many times have we seen him do that? And not many. We've seen him stand in and take some hits to deliver throws, but we haven't seen him avoid a tackle, navigate the pocket, reset, and deliver on time and accurate pass. Like, that's something we haven't seen a lot of. So that's something we would like to see, especially when you're going to be dealing with that in the NFL.
Yeah, Chris, man, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's I mean, it is what it is. I know we can just keep, having the circular conversations. I think he's well coached, and he prepares. So, that's what we're going to see from him. But the thing is, I just think that his arm talent is only going to take him so far. So he's going to have to be almost like a Peyton Manning type guy with the preparation and stuff like that. So, and again, we just don't know yet. So, it's a lot of, we can speculate all we want, but honestly, I do like his work ethic, but, until we see him, out there getting chased by guys, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, what up, Chewy, man? What's going on, man? You're saying in the most difficult games, he had his highest completion percentage. That's true, without question. If you just look at the numbers and you look at the percentage, then yes, I think that's why a lot of people are high on him. You just have to really understand where those completions come from, right? Very basic completions, back shoulder fades, 5-yard hitches when the defense is playing 10 yards off, right? When you have such a good run game and you're already playing – the other team is already playing from behind. Look at the Oregon game. The Oregon game was, I mean, they're up 35 plus at halftime. Like, it was a tough game, but at the same time, the running game, the defense did their job at such a high level. It made the job very easy for him, and the completions came very easy. So it's not to discredit what he did. It's also to realize it was the biggest team effort I've ever seen out of a college football team. And when you're literally completing 5 to 10 yard hitches and that's all you got, and it's just RPO game all day long, yeah, of course your completion rating is going to be pretty damn good. A lot of people knocked Derek Carr for his high completion ratings at time, but they also were like, well, he's a check down king. He's taking the easy check downs. That's essentially what, and people knocked him on it. That's essentially what Fernando Mendoza did 80% of the time throughout the entire season was RPOs, back shoulder fades, hitches. And he was great at it. Good velocity, good accuracy, but you got to understand where those completions came from and how easy it was and why that doesn't translate to the NFL. You got to figure out what translates to the NFL, and about 80% of what he did doesn't translate well. Alex Mendoza is also great in the red zone. What have our struggles been? The red zone. Chris, I'm gonna throw it to you first this time. I won't deny he was great. He was very good in the red zone. I have a kind of a take as to why I think that was, but Chris, I'm gonna throw it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, no, that's to me. When I look at a lot of part of the red zone is anticipation, preparation, and again, he has that. So I think that, and plus the coaching. Again, I think a lot of this goes with just being prepared. And again, I'm not going to take it away from Mendoza. In the red zone, he was impressive. He was able to even use his legs as needed, use his athleticism. And he knew where to go. He knew where to go. He had some old receivers, guys that are, that understand, and, they made plays. So it's not like, just kind of like what Severe was saying. I mean, those receivers would make some badass plays for him, at the end of the day. And there was quite a few plays that they bailed him out. So, but at the end of the day, he knew where to go with the ball, and I'm not mad at that. So, if that translates to the NFL, then, we might have our guy. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. But, we just got to see it at the next level.
Yeah. Severe, what's your thoughts on that one?
I mean, he was good in the red zone. I admit that, but I want to say the year prior, Indiana was really good at the red zone, in the red zone as well. So I think part of that is Mendoza, part of that is a product of the system they ran, and their ability to really run the ball. I think that helps a lot in the red zone because like you have to respect that part of the game. Some teams aren't. Once they get in those close quarters, they can't run the ball effectively. That wasn't Indiana, and they were able to take advantage of the RPO game, and he was able to get some short completions. He had guys that were able to beat guys one-on-one. So Wright is a guy that's really big body receiver, really good in one-on-one situations. We see Becker as a guy that's really good at contested catches. Cooper, very explosive, can win his one-on-one matchups as well. So I think the team is well coached, well put together, and that's a testament to Cignetti and what he has going on over there. And the year prior, they were a win away from, being represented in the national championship game. And work left, and they brought in a quarterback that was able to take them to the promised land. So, and I think, like you said, it was a team effort. And I know a lot of people like to say Indiana has no talent, but I was watching a guy who was who's a draft analyst, does it year in year out. I want to say, was it for NFL Network? I believe it's for NFL Network. He said the year prior, the national championship Ohio State team, they sent 12 guys to the NFL. People would say that's one of the most talented teams they've ever seen. He says he expects 11 to be drafted from this Indiana team.
Yeah. And his efficiency in the red zone is extremely good. I'm not going to take that away from him. I think, again, like Severe that you said, that was kind of one point, is when you also look at how efficient the run game is, right? They're the fourth-ranked rushing team in the NFL. They leaned on that in the red zone a lot, which forces defenses to basically end up in man defense a lot of times. And so more times than not. And when you know that's the case, you got one-on-ones all day long, and it makes the life easier for the quarterback. Now, he has to be efficient with the ball. He's got to have very good ball placement, good accuracy, and he has all that. When he can set his feet, make the proper throw, everything looks as beautiful as it gets. And that was one of the things that I said that I liked about Fernando Mendoza. When he can set his feet, when he knows where he's going pre-snap, it's as good as it gets, right? But it's not going to be that easy in the NFL. So it's trying to judge him and base him off of what translates to the NFL and how he executes. And so we'll definitely dive deep into that. But he was very efficient in the end zone. I'm not going to take away from that. D. Keegan, I've been watching him in games. This kid is a real watch. That Illinois game, he was lighting it up. He did well in the Illinois game. Remember, 60th strength of schedule, so his competition wasn't great. It wasn't great. Quirk, what's going on? Not impressed. Me neither, FYI.
Straight to the point.
What's going on, man? Cheeto, what's going on in the building? The intestinal fortitude of this guy to show up with the flu. This will go down as legendary as Jordan game. What are you talking about, Leo?
Did somebody say that?
Flu. He didn't.
Did Mendoza have a flu during running the games? Did somebody say something like that?
Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm trying to say.
I watched him in his interview afterwards. It didn't sound like he had the flu. I mean, if he had the flu, he would have done the pro day and got out. But he took interviews afterwards. I don't know. She loved me on payday. If you like Jackson Dart, you'll like Garrett Nussmeier.
I don't know about all that.
There's a couple quarterbacks that are worth a late round pick because of just their experience. You know, I know Nussmeier, I think he had a bunch of injuries that he was dealing with throughout the season. Yeah. And so if we don't get a quarterback early and you want to take flyers, I do think that there's some quarterbacks late rounds that you could easily take a flyer on and start the process of trying to groom somebody. But that means you traded back in the first, and now you can kind of gear up for that 2027 draft. You know, so are there any quarterbacks? I'll throw this out to you, Severe, first. Any quarterbacks that you would take a flyer on late rounds if we didn't go a quarterback first or second round?
I think the one that comes up most often is Drew Aller, because I think he's probably, if you look at where he'll likely be drafted, it's a little bit later than other guys compared to his talent, and that's a lot of that has to do with his injury. Guy I take a flyer on, I don't think he'll ever be a starter in the league or like a consistent starter. But if you just wanted to put solid talent, solid individuals in your organization, a guy Jalen Daniels, he played at Kansas. He's kind of like a Tyrod Taylor, a little bit more compactly built. I think he has a stronger arm, faster in my opinion. But he's a guy that before he got hurt with Kansas, he was like in Heisman running, not this last year, but the year before that. So he's a guy that has some talent there. I think he's a guy that, you know, if you just want to add youth to the team at the quarterback position, keep adding guys to the room, he's a guy to take a look at. I don't think he'll ever be a full-time starter, but I'm not expecting to get my full-time starter in this draft because there's guys next year that I'm looking at.
A lot of guys next year. Chris, man, any thoughts? Is there any quarterbacks you would probably look at if we skipped on quarterbacks first, day one, maybe day two? Is there anybody in the back half that you would take a swing on?
I mean, it would have to be Drew. Drew Aller is the only one. I mean, this is a terrible draft class. I mean, that's all there is to it. So I'm not even gonna sit here and act like, there's anyone else. Going into the season, I thought Aller was gonna have a big year. Just kind of springboarding off of what he did last year, but he kind of struggled at first and then he got hurt. So it just didn't look too good. But I know the talent's there. So, at least, maybe the right coach in the right situation can unlock that with him. But, I'm all about next year. I wouldn't even waste any draft capital on any of these guys, knowing that there's going to be some guys that fall next year just because there's going to be teams that just don't need a quarterback early. So guys are going to go later than expected. So yeah, there's no way that I would take anyone this year.
I think the only reason why I would, if we didn't go quarterback early, the only reason why I take a flyer on somebody is one, to start the process of development, but also we do have, I think, 10, 11 draft picks. I think we have enough to where we have the flexibility to possibly, if Drew Aller slips to like the 5th.
Something like that. Yeah.
Outside of that, I'd probably go after a quarterback that has a lot of experience. Carson Beck, if he's there in like the 6th, just for pure experience, I'd take a flyer on him and say, look, it's development. We let Cam Miller, we basically cut Cam Miller last year. Everybody thought he was the second coming after that preseason game. So if you could take a flyer on Cam Miller in the 6th, I think you would take a flyer on on a Nussmeier or a Carson Beck in the 6th. If he's sitting there, if we didn't address the quarterback position, at least you start the process just in case that slight chance that you miss on somebody in 2027. So I'd be okay just given the fact that we have enough draft capital. But Red Dirt, you're saying he threw effortlessly. He better have. There's no pass rush, no defense. He better have. Cheeto's getting those shirts ready. If you guys want any Raiders merchandise, definitely go hit up our boy Cheeto. Definitely hit him up. Definitely hit him up. We're going to talk about the draft really quick. The pro day. Keegan, you're saying way better than Ty Simpson. There might be some people that disagree with you. Let's see. Darth Vader, we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's see. Truth's Finest. Honestly, I'm a 2-ring Raider fan. Does that mean you've witnessed 2 Super Bowls?
All right, been married twice, 1 of the 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I know as much about the team as anyone here, okay? But you guys are real pessimistic on Mendoza, or just realistic.
Yeah,
we might just have a different vote.
But
he got 2 rings though. He's a 2-ring fan, so.
But what's crazy is that, see, Chris, this is an example of a non sequitur because he said he knows as much about the Raiders as anyone here, but that doesn't mean he knows as much about us.
Right.
So how can you qualify me being pessimistic? You know much about the Raiders. You can talk about the Raiders all you want to. Fernando Mendoza is not yet a Raider, and neither am I.
So you stay pessimistic. I just say realistic, and we could argue that point. But you got Coach in the building. Coach, you keep your comments to your damn self. God damn it. We'll talk about what we want in this goddamn live. D-Money, what are your thoughts on having 10 Raider coaches showing up to watch Mendoza today? Chris, man, I'll throw it to you real quick, and then we're going to get on to the actual pro day talk.
It doesn't matter. He's going to be a Raider. Who cares? Whatever, man. Whatever. Who cares?
10 showed up?
I don't know.
I guess, man. Maybe a 2-ring. Maybe that's from a 2-ring fan.
Mr. 2-ring, can you let us know? Where's Ja Rule?
Any thoughts on that one? Or I don't know if it was 10. I heard 8 showed up. I don't know. But in my opinion, it's look, they're doing their homework. They're doing their due diligence. It's good that they're there. You know what I'm saying? But, nothing's a guarantee. Obviously, I know if I was a betting man, I would put money that we're getting Fernando Mendoza, right? But if there was any ounce of intention of trading back, of course you'd show up in the masses as a Raider fan to make sure that all the other teams think we're getting them. But we are dialed in, and you better give us a haul if you want to come get them. So that could be that as well. So we'll see. We're going to talk about it. Yes, there is the clutch factor, right? We're not. There is the clutch factor. And I'm not taking that away from him, but also it's the body of work. And the reason why I think I've been more right than I've been wrong is because I evaluate it as the body of work and not the moments, not the flashy moments that everybody gets caught up on. I call them, and I've kind of coined it since starting this damn YouTube thing, is the highlight heroes. Anthony Richardson was a highlight hero. I'm not comparing the two, but like that, you have players that are just highlight heroes. And if you get caught too much of as it relates to the moments, then that you get yourself in trouble. Quirk, we're going to break down both Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza. It's going to be in the coming weeks. We still got weeks left. Don't worry. In the coming weeks, we're going to break down that game film. Okay. All right. I think I see another comment. I'll address this one real quick and we'll jump into it. How was he in the playoff competition? The team was great. He had his moments. The team was great. Keep that in your head because, look, Fernando Mendoza, when you throw 16 times in a goddamn game, it doesn't mean that you're not Joe Burrow throwing 40 times and winning the game. It was a team effort across the board. People talk about Alabama. They rushed for 215 yards, and the O-line got the MVP of the Rose Bowl.
They tried to give it to the O-line. They think they had to get settled for Pat Coogan, but they tried to give it to the entire O-line.
So it was a damn good team effort across the board. All right. And he had his moments. He wasn't even great in the national championship. He had the moment, that run. I was like, shit, there we go.
That was a great play. That was a great play.
It was a great play. But I was like, damn, he lost. Cheeto, Drew Aller went from being a top prospect last year to damn, what happened? Jeez, yeah. Injuries suck. But I hate that offensive coordinator over there. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate it. If we haven't pissed you off yet, double tap that screen. Appreciate you. Let's talk a little bit about the actual pro day itself. So chat, let me know what your thoughts are on the pro day. We're going to share it real quick. I'm going to kind of get into it. But I am going to start off. I'm going to bring the banner down so we don't need to look at that anymore. But let's take a look at really some of the facts, right? He had 56 throws. 56 throws. He completed 53 of those passes, which is great. I think there was a couple drops there. They should have been completions, so maybe he could account for one, maybe two incompletions, but definitely the completion rate was high. Again, no pass rush, no defense, so should have been good. He had 9 deep passes. He had 16 snaps under center. I'm going to kind of break it all down and just what my thoughts were, but Chris, I'm going to throw it to you first, man. What was your thoughts just overall of Mendoza at the pro day, and did it either meet expectations or did it change your thoughts at all? I know you spoke about on it a little bit earlier, but
yeah, no, I mean it met expectations. I mean what I thought I was going to see, that's what I saw. I knew it was going to be safe. I knew he was going to not take too many risks. I mean he knew what he was doing. They had a game plan going in, and that's it. I knew he wasn't going to shit the bed. He didn't. But as far as did I see anything that just wowed me, no. But again, he didn't shit the bed either. So met expectations going into it. That's what I thought I'd see.
Severe, man, thoughts?
Yeah, man, it's run of the mill. Nothing out of the ordinary. It was very cautious, very safe. I don't think this was a do no harm day for Fernando Mendoza. This was, hey, you know what? I'm going to show a little bit of what I've been working on with some of the stuff on the move, some of the stuff from under center. And other than that, this is a do no harm. Don't go out here and don't slip on a banana peel. Don't step on a rake. Like, this is basically like just real efficient, run of the mill stuff. And then we get out of here and I do my interviews and talk to the press and talk to the teams afterwards.
All right.
Got him.
This dude a midget? Is he a midget? Are you a midget, Maddie?
Maddie, I got a button.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Now, you know, I'm not gonna say too much about this because this, you know, is, you know, we got 805 here, you know, and I definitely respect 805 and his people, but Mehdi, I don't know why all these people with this medium shirt on and this fake jewelry you got on, you got the nerve, and then you got 2 subscribers, and you got the nerve to talk about someone's subscriber. I just don't understand. I mean, I think the Drake got y'all light skinned dudes just out of pocket right now, man. But I'm a fall back because again, this isn't the time and place. But catch one of the other shows when I'm on one, and we can address it more. But I just had to show that you got 2 subscribers, dude. My bad.
Those
Hey,
seconds.
you're good because it's about to get live for just a second. It might piss off a couple people. That's okay. Been doing it since I started my channel in 2023. So kind of getting to some of them. Shout out to everybody. If you guys could check out Jeff and Cheeto Linus and stuff like that. No Raider connection tonight. So Jeff, I did see your message a little bit earlier. You're saying Hitsport, you're saying Mendoza Pro Day looked very rehearsed, but still looked good. All Pro Days are rehearsed. So not to knock him in any way.
Yeah.
But all Pro Days are rehearsed. And so look, my reaction. Here we go. You ready for this? Let's have some fun. His Pro Day, again, it's your kind of last opportunity to kind of showcase some of the question marks. And I don't care who you talk to. A lot of people, whether you love them or like them or hate them, a lot of people do say that, look, he's got to show that he can work under center, right? You got to do that in the NFL, especially given the fact that fuck, I'm blanking on our head coach.
Kubiak. That's your guy.
Power process, power process, whatever. Yeah,
power through
purpose.
Yeah. I need it up in front of me. I need the note. Clint Kubiak runs the highest amount of under center in the NFL. So you just want to see him just kind of execute it, just kind of see, okay, how much is he working on it? What does his footwork look like? Stuff like that, right? So it was this opportunity to kind of do it. But I walked away from that Pro Day knowing that you can have that opportunity to kind of you're not going to silence a whole lot, but you have that opportunity just to kind of show that you can do it as it relates to the footwork. And he ran some very simple play action. He ran some very simple dropbacks that you do basically in Pop Warner in high school. And he had 2 true rollout passes. That was it. It was probably the most safe, basic, uneventful Pro Day I've seen in the longest time out of a top prospect. That was it. Safe, basic, uneventful. And I wanted to see him execute a little bit more under center. I wanted him. He only did it out of 56 throws. He did it 16 times. He didn't roll out. He did it twice. And the 2 rollouts that he had, he basically rolled out to his left, to his off arm, and it was basically a timing route. He threw with no anticipation. Sometimes you want to see them be able to run some play action, roll out, make sure you get your footwork in line, your shoulders through, and you throw with anticipation, knowing that you got your shoulders and eyes around on time. Oh no, he continued his roll out, half-assed his way to the sideline and waited for his receiver basically to straddle the sideline and just played catch with them. The one rollout that he had to his throwing arm, very basic. It was basically like an 8-yard out route to look like a tight end. Very basic. That was the only 2 true rollouts that he had. And so couldn't show anything. Again, very safe. Didn't want to take any risks whatsoever. Basically severe to what you said. And so definitely didn't showcase anything there. So didn't move the needle at all. And then what he showed with the deep passes, he basically had about 9 deep passes. 5 of them were inaccurate. 4 of them were accurate. So what did he show throughout the entire season? And what I said the 2 days after the national championship, I did my complete breakdown of Fernando Mendoza. And I basically said, deep ball, he's 50-50. When he's off platform, when he has to move in the pocket, when he's moved off his spot a little bit, he's 50-50. Well, guess what? On air with no defense, he was 50-50. How are you 50-50 as the number 1 projected overall draft pick, and you're 50-50 against when you're throwing to guys that you felt comfortable throwing to, you didn't throw in the combine. You didn't throw in the combine because you basically had nothing to prove. And I understand why he didn't throw in the combine. I understand why. I didn't knock him for not throwing in the combine. You have everything to lose, nothing to gain. You're the projected number 1 overall. So I understood why you didn't throw in the combine. But guess what? It's time to show a little bit in that pro day. And what happened? He was 50-50 with his accuracy on deep balls in the pro day. And you have no defense, no pass rush. So what the hell do you think you're going to look like when you got a rush? You're going to be 50-50 in deep balls. And so to me, I walked away from that pro day going, it was basic. You had no risk whatsoever. And you basically want to kind of get out of there. And you put on a little bit of a show. You completed some decently accurate passes down the field. And that's what everybody focused on. That's what social media focused on. That's what the commentators focused on. When the commentators saw an accurate throw, they blew up like, man, look at that accuracy. But when it was off, there was 4 consecutive throws. There was one deep shot to Elijah Surratt. Overthrew it. You're basically your number 1 receiver last year. You overthrew him with no pads, no defense, no pass rush, and you overshot him. The second throw, you underthrew the deep ball to one of your receivers, and then you tried to throw a little skinny route, a skinny post route to your tight end, and it was basically a high throw. Now, I don't know if he was nervous. I understand if the nerves get to you. I get it, right? And I'll give you that. You're nervous a little bit. But when you're 50-50 with your accuracy on air, and that showed during the season, that's just another reason why I just don't want you at the number 1 overall. I would much rather take multiple first-round draft picks and address the quarterback, whether it's Ty Simpson this year or you move on, you go get a guy next year. Nothing in that pro day moved the needle as it relates to what I saw in the game film. You can't throw on the run. You can't. You're 50-50 on the run. And that's basically what he showed. He didn't even risk it. He didn't even want to throw on the run in his pro day with no defense, with no pass rush. They didn't even touch it. They did it twice, and it was 2 very, very safe throws. In addition to that, typically you see quarterbacks work in the goal line. Now, question is, why do you work in the goal line? Because the spacing is tighter, right? Yes, he was very efficient in the goal line during the season, right? But I want to see you under the center in goal line. I want to see you execute play action. He did it a couple times. I think the most snaps that he took under center was in goal line this last year, but again, it was only 3% of his snaps, so it wasn't a whole lot. But I want to see you take some snaps inside the 10-yard line, roll out. How do you get your shoulders around? How do you get your eyes around? How is your timing in the short confined space on the goal line through play action under center? Because you didn't show it too much in the season. Because again, your timing has to be right.
Exactly.
Didn't do it. Didn't even press it. Didn't even risk it. Didn't even want to show it. Everything was from the opposite 40, and that's kind of what he ran. I wanted to see him work in the goal line a little bit, like you see with all the other quarterbacks in their pro days. All other quarterbacks do it. Cam Ward did it. Jackson Dart did it. Go look at all the other pro days. They all worked inside the goal line to showcase how well they could work under center and their timing inside the 10-yard line. But he didn't want to test it. Why? Because they kept it safe. They kept it basic. That's exactly what he showed throughout the entire 2025 college season. Was on 3rd and 4, draw. On 3rd and 6, one read to check down. Shit, I'm taking off and I'm running. Because they kept it basic and they kept it simple. And so that's why, again, I walked away from that pro day and I was like, I was pissed. I was pissed because I wanted to just see some flashes. I wanted to see him just kind of test it a little bit. Give us a sample size of what you look like under center with a full rollout. And he gave us 2 very basic, easy, simple examples. Outside of that, his deep ball, 50-50. How the hell are you 50-50 on air? That shocks me.
Yeah.
When you're throwing to guys that you're comfortable with. Imagine what you look like at that pro day. No wonder you didn't want to press that pro day. You're throwing to guys that you're not comfortable with. You would have been off target on every single goddamn throw. Okay.
Combine.
People enough? All right, go for it.
Yeah, the combine. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't like I know a lot of people what people will do, and this is why players play it safe, is that most people won't most people will it's confirmation bias. So most people think that Fernando Mendoza is good. So if they see a number or they see a throw completed, they'll say, "Oh, that was good." Because I saw several throws that were off target where I just previously saw people cooking not Jackson Dart, Drew Aller for the same throw. Where they're this ball is getting picked in the NFL. Look at this ball placement here. It's getting picked in the NFL. I saw dudes throwing outs, the ball's behind them on their hip. Like, why are you throwing this ball behind this guy on his hip? Oh, it's getting picked in the NFL. If that was Drew Aller that threw it, they're saying it's being picked. But because it's not Drew Aller, because it's Fernando Mendoza, they're not making that same comparison. I saw like a guy he's throwing a speed out, and it was like behind, like he's throwing a back shoulder, like behind the guy on a speed out. Like, how are you throwing behind the guy running a speed out? Like, this don't make no sense. So but nobody said anything about it. But had that been somebody else doing it, it would have been criticized, because right now people are just in the mode where like nothing he can do is wrong. Or they'll look at they're like shout out to my brother Rundown. Like, he did a short today talking about Mendoza's pro day, and I think Rundown cited the numbers. He was 53 or 56. And then somebody in the comments, oh, he was really 56 or 56 because 2 of them was drops, and one of them, it was Sherrod because he sped up, and then he slowed down, and then he tried to speed back up. And then, but at the end of the day, he wasn't even trying. He was just out there just throwing the ball fast. I'm like, bro, like then why are you telling me his numbers? If he wasn't trying and it doesn't matter, then why are you making such a strong argument for why he missed 3 passes? Like 53 to 56 as a raw number, that's good, right? Like, so why are you going in so in depth to explain why these 3 passes that don't even matter because he wasn't trying, like why they weren't his fault? So it just doesn't. Like I said, it's, at this point, we're in a zone where people they're locked in on Fernando Mendoza, and it's the Halo Horns effect, right? Everything he does, because they expect him to be a Raider. They've been looking for a quarterback, or we've been looking for a quarterback for a long time. They went through a terrible season with Jimmy G and with Minshew and with Geno, so now they see a guy that could potentially be the guy. So whatever flaws or faults he may have, they're going to mask it because it's just hope, right? They're hoping against hope no matter what. And this is not to say that Mendoza won't be a good player or won't be a franchise player, but we still have to talk about the areas he needs to improve in or the things we didn't see. And we're not saying he can't do it, but if we didn't see him do it, then we want to see him do it, right? And that's what the same with every prospect. Like, just because a guy hasn't done it doesn't mean he can't do it, but that leaves a question of, can he do it? And the answer could be yes or it could be no. And so, but right now it remains to be seen whether or not he can do some of the things we didn't see him do at the collegiate level, because he chose not to really emphasize those things today in his pro day.
And I'm just going to preface real quick is that, look, I'm not saying that he can't, right? Because, look, I coached this game for 23 years, so I understand the value of coaching. So, yes, you could coach somebody up. All right. But I'm not going to take somebody number 1 overall when I have to coach him up to do 7 different things, right? I see comments, people saying, well, I think he can do it. I know he can do it. No, point to the film where he does it. Then you're telling me and you're showing me that he can do it. And so that's what I go off of. That's my evaluation, is you've shown me that you can do it. And look, even though I'm higher on Ty Simpson, just because I can show you Ty Simpson does it and can do it in college does not mean he could do it in the NFL. It's just I'm going to bank on the fact that, look, I see him do it. So if he already has the past and the knowledge of understanding how to do it, hopefully that translates, right? But Fernando Mendoza doesn't show he could do it. Can't execute under center at a high level. Cannot execute under center with play action to read a defense. And so, and again, I take that back. Sorry, I'm not saying he can't do it. He doesn't show that he can do it. And so it creates the question mark. And if I go with too many question marks, that means I'm not taking you at number 1. So, and on the flip side, that means I'm going to take multiple first-round draft picks and build this shit. out of this roster. Chris, what you got, man? What you got on this topic? If you disagree with me, or if you
no, honestly, and it's funny because you get all this hate, and the thing is, you break down and you've watched more of him than pretty much anyone. Like, yeah, I watch a lot of Big Ten ball. I know a lot of people may have knew about Mendoza even before he got to Indiana, out in Cal and stuff like that. But it's funny that people are just hating on your take that you had way before Dan, and even I guess even
apparently Kurt Warner.
Even Kurt Warner. I mean, you were saying this stuff a long time ago, and you break down damn near every throw in every game. Like, you take the time to study it because you watch the film, and it's just funny listening to some of these fans, man, that just get excited about Mendoza wearing booty shorts and throwing, when with no pads on, and it's just weird to me, man. So, I agree with what you said. I mean, I think you break it down well, and again, he didn't show me enough to be a number one quarterback all season. I think the coach was able to mask a lot of his deficiencies. And I just hope that his work ethic and his drive can push him through. I mean, that's really where I'm at. I just hope that that's what happens. Again, like we always say, we're not haters. We just think the Raiders can do something better with the number one overall pick. But we all want him to be successful when we do draft him. Let's not get that twisted.
I'm going to answer this just really quick. So Mendoza pat the ball every throw, but they diss Sanders for it. So I actually broke down Sanders in the same exact way last year. And I had a 3rd round grade on him, which I got a lot of shit for. And the thing is there's a very big difference. Fernando Mendoza, if you watch him at this pro day in his 3-step drop, whenever you have a 3-step drop under center, you do not want to pat the ball, because when you have a 3-step drop, it's a timing route. It's got to be quick. Watch him in his pro day in his 3-step drop. He pats the ball, which is not good. You do not pat the ball in a 3-step drop from under center. The problem that how Shedeur Sanders last year was he patted the ball. He had a long pat with the ball, even on a 5-step, 7-step drop, even in a 3-step drop out of gun, which eventually equates to a 5-step drop under center. And that's why he was late a lot in the seams. And that's why a lot of teams jumped the ball. That's why he was late. That's why he didn't get the ball to the seams or to the middle of the field as quickly as he should have, because he had a long pat on the ball. And that was one of the things that I broke down, and maybe that's what teams saw. That's why I had a 3rd round grade on him when everybody talks shit. So, yes, Mendoza pats the ball, but he pats the ball on a 3-step drop under center, which is not good. He's got to fix that. He's got to correct it. And I'm telling you, teams will not be happy with that mechanic. So, just to kind of give you a difference again, I broke down Shedeur Sanders just like I do Mendoza, and again, I think that's why it is what it is. Severe, you're good on time? You a couple more minutes? Or
yeah, I got a few more.
Okay, cool. Real quick, just gotta give the shout out to the comment right away. That's more impressive, Tyree. What's more impressive, Tyree getting sacks unblocked or Fernando with no pass rush?
Generation. That's a generational comment right there. Generational comment. What's crazy is that is that they were interviewing, I think, John Spytek, and they were like, oh, so what makes you think Fernando Mendoza is a franchise quarterback? I want to say that was the question that was asked of him. He was like, hold up, we're still doing our homework. No, it was, they asked Spytek that, and Spytek was like, hold up, we're still doing our homework. We got a lot of work to do.
Oh, okay.
In evaluating this draft. So I thought that was, interesting. I think they tried to trip him up, but he played this, he played it coy, he played it cool. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I think people are just so eager to crown a guy that, like when you're drafting a guy number 1 overall, you want as little questions as possible about a guy. Because sometimes when you get in this mode where you start, draft overall is projection, right? You're always projecting what a guy will do from the collegiate level to the NFL level, and how long he will be able to do it at a high level at the NFL level. So there's always some questions and some projections, right? And until you get a guy in your building, until you get him on game day and have him in your program, those questions will not be answered. What you want to do is have as few questions as possible, especially with premium draft picks. Like I remember Tyree Wilson. There was a whole bunch of questions about how would Tyree handle NFL competition. Will he ever be able to develop NFL pass rush moves when he's not the biggest, strongest guy out here and able to bully people? Like, will what he's doing at Texas Tech translate to the NFL? And it didn't translate. So when you're picking especially number one overall, especially a quarterback with the amount of investment that goes into that positions, you want to eliminate as many of those questions as possible. You want a guy that checks a lot of boxes. And Fernando Mendoza checks a lot of boxes, but he also has an equal amount of question marks. And people they want to acknowledge the boxes that are checked and not acknowledge the boxes that aren't. And that's the issue I have.
I'm with you. 100%. Cheeto, man. Appreciate you. Shots to the War Room for being haters, yet being there each week. Y'all Raiders, regardless of the outcome. Y'all know we're diehard. We're definitely diehard. But look, we're not here for the popularity. There are a lot of bigger content creators. They're here for the popularity, and they're going to feed you whatever is popular. You come here, we're gonna talk what we think is real. You don't have to agree with us. Like, trust me, you do not have to agree. You could think that we're goddamn crazy. That's perfectly fine. I really don't care, but I'm gonna continue to express to you what my evaluation is. Point blank, period. And then you could just check my past. You know what I'm saying? But it's not popularity contest up here. We're gonna speak what we feel. But shout out to you, Leo, man. Shout out to you. Money Chuck. So when we drop Mendoza, we'll have Spy Tech, Brady, Kubiak, and the rest of our staff not watched as much film as 805. They will draft based on media hype. I just want to make clear, I believe the statistic is 63% of first rounders actually work out. Okay. Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf. There are so many first round draft picks, even number one draft picks, that GMs are afraid to not be wrong.
Miss up on. Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so look, if we draft him, man, I hope that Mendoza works out. I hope that he answers all the questions that I have, because I'm never going to say that he won't answer the questions. I'm never going to say that he's trash and he's not going to be able to do something. It's just question marks. That's all I have. And so I'm 100% they're doing the homework. But are you saying that GMs don't miss? Like, that's the wildest take. I just can't even combat that. Because just go look at the busts. Go look at the guys that don't work out. And that's where it's tough, right? And again, I'm never going to say that I'm right. I'm just saying this is just my take, and these are my question marks.
Yeah.
Right? So shout out to everybody. Mike Cavelli, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Hey, we just want to jump on here, give the takes of what our how we perceived the pro day. I apologize if I yelled too much or yelled too loud, but at the end of the day, deal with it. If you want to come into the chat, we're gonna have
Michigan was good last year for that commenter. They were good the year before Mendoza got there. Before that, it was a long time. The only time they were good before that was when Michael Penix was there. But between Michael Penix leaving or getting hurt and Mendoza, then they had work that first year when Cignetti got there.
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence, right? We have a lot of confidence. And shout out to you, Severe, because you said, I think Cignetti was asked the same exact question. Just what makes Fernando Mendoza a franchise quarterback? And I recommend everybody go listen to Cignetti's answer. And it was just before Fernando Mendoza's pro day. Cignetti gave the most basic answer I've ever heard in my life. Basically, like watch the film. Watch what he did last year. And that was it. All he had was watch what he did last year. And that sounds like the 98% of our fan base. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's tough. It's tough when that's your answer. He gave no detailed answer as to what makes him a franchise quarterback. It was just go look at the tape. Go look at what he did. It's like, okay, got it. Fun. And real quick, money check, you said Fernando has a lot more boxes checked and it's not equal. It just depends on how many boxes.
That's your opinion. I'm sure you thought Genty had a lot of boxes checked too, didn't you?
How'd
that work out? Oh, he needed everybody around him to be good for him to be good. I guess some boxes wasn't as checked as you thought they were they?
How many boxes did Damon Arnett check? Sure. A lot of boxes. Cleveland Farrell, Tyree Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to just assume that an organization is going to be spot on their takes is wild to me. And to not have question marks on these 18, 19, 20, or sorry, not 18, like these 22, 23-year-old kids. Indiana is a different situation. They got 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds coming in the goddamn draft. But to think that these 23, 24-year-old kids all of a sudden are going to hit the ground running and they're so mature and they're just going to all of a sudden translate the NFL so goddamn well with the statistic of how many first rounders actually work out. I believe it's around 60%, tells you that not a whole lot actually transfer well, and the maturity level needs to be there as well.
Yeah,
Mendoza is mature. I do think he's there, but I'm just saying.
It's also about how comfortable organizations are with certain questions about a player. You know, like you have questions about how he would translate to the NFL. I'm sure there were plenty of people that had those same questions about Anthony Richardson. Yet Shane Steichen, one of the best offensive minds in the league, Chris Ballard, one of the best GMs in the league, like they still felt comfortable enough taking Anthony Richardson top 5. So people would have said, "Oh, do you know more than Chris Ballard? Do you know more than Shane Steichen?" Like, no, but I watched him play, and my questions were, how good can this guy be when there are certain things that he can't do? Now, I know that's an extreme example, but that's just to illustrate that just because one organization or a team is comfortable with these questions doesn't mean I should be, doesn't mean the Raiders should be, doesn't mean anybody else has to be. If the organization is comfortable with it, then go ahead and draft them. But that doesn't mean I will be.
And just thinking about Spy Tech, wasn't it reported that they basically had to trade on the table, that they were going to pull the trigger on getting JJ McCarthy last year?
Oh yeah,
wasn't it? So that shows me right there his evaluation of quarterbacks. We see that McCarthy's a straight bust to the point that they're bringing Kyler Murray over to replace him. So like, I don't want to hear about this think tank that, and I'm not going to give Money Chuck too much time, but this think tank that he was talking about of those guys. It's like GMs make mistakes all the time. So I don't want to hear none of that. The fact that we were about to pull the trigger on a JJ McCarthy trade tells me all that I need to know. So until I see, Spy Tech, build this thing, get us together, I'm going to question, some of his evaluation. So we'll see.
Usually I'm gonna stop addressing this dude, but now I'm just a legend in your mind and in your mom's bedroom. Ask about me.
Got it. I need my timing better. I got one for you. You always got them. I'm gonna get my timing better though. But shot to, I think it's like there's an Oiler fan. I think you're saying, who would you take, Mendoza or Cam Ward? I'd take Cam Ward in a heartbeat over Mendoza.
Oh, not even close.
Heartbeat. Severe. What's your thoughts? Would you take Fernando Mendoza or Cam Ward?
Yeah, I'm taking Cam Ward over Fernando Mendoza. And look, Cam Ward wasn't a perfect prospect. There were questions about Cam Ward too, but I felt more comfortable about the questions with Cam Ward than I do about Fernando Mendoza.
And third, and Cam Ward was more to his team by far. I mean, look at his receivers. Restrepo was his best receiver, and that guy was an undrafted free agent. Right, that's what he had to work with, and so he made Miami. And Indiana was already made with Curtis Rourke. They went to the college football playoffs, and Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr. was already there. Fernando Mendoza got them in their second year in Indiana in the program. You know what I'm saying? So we already knew what Indiana's pathway was. Fernando Mendoza was just kind of the final piece to it. And he was very good at what he was asked to do. But I'm just saying, Cam Ward made Miami. And third leg red, we don't third leg red. That's wild. We don't need the perfect quarterback. He just needs to check as many boxes as possible.
But if the perfect quarterback is out there, let us know. Let me know if you find him, because I would love for the Raiders to pick that guy. But as far as I know, he doesn't exist. But there are guys that I feel more comfortable with in terms of my projection to what they will be in the NFL than I do with Fernando Mendoza, especially at number 1 overall, especially in lieu of the fact that it's not just not getting Fernando Mendoza, it's getting a quarterback that is a close facsimile in terms of talent to Fernando Mendoza, and the extra first-round picks that we would get from trading Fernando Mendoza, plus the guy we will draft this year, and the guys we draft next year, building this team, having an extra year in the Kubiak system to grease the wheels of this offense and put a quarterback in that system at that time when we have some more questions answered. Like, that's part of the equation as well.
Yeah, shout out to Leo, big dog. Appreciate you, man. You're throwing one out there. It's like you can't have your own take without people feelings getting hurt. Hey, we tend to rub some people the wrong way at times on this channel, but it's okay. Again, look, I think at the end of the day, you guys can reference back to our history. As much as I know, like, history doesn't matter in the sports world. History doesn't matter. It's about, are you with the popular take today? And this is kind of, it reigns true constantly, all day, every day, is that it's not about if you were right in the past. It's about, are you popular with what everybody thinks today? If you're popular with the 80%, man, everybody rocks with you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people out there that are afraid to go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? And so, look, at the end of the day, we're not saying we're always going to be right. What we are saying is our track record is pretty goddamn good. If you want to learn something, you may want to stick around a little bit. So let's have a little bit of fun. So, hey, look, appreciate everybody rocking. I appreciate everybody tapping it with us. Jeff, you're talking with Josh, man. Shout out to Josh. I see you in here as well, man. Appreciate you rocking. This is D-Money. Mendoza is Brady without the skills. Run it back with ALC, trade for a solid package, and draft a quarterback in 2027.
I'm good for a bit. I'm good for a bit longer. If y'all want to keep rocking, I'm good for a bit longer.
Oh shit! Did you just say that? Did you just say that?
I'm about to pour another drink. I do. There are some YouTube shorts I have to watch after the show though, so I can't stay up too long. I gotta get. I'm trying to be a better person, y'all. I got some. It's
about to be like, look, now we've never banned. No, have I banned somebody? No, you know what? I banned Piano Man. I banned Piano Man one time because he was just getting a little wild. He was getting a little crazy, like with some racist.
Yeah, one time. Yeah, I don't even think you banned. I think you just like put him on timeout.
Maybe no. I put Money Chuck on timeout one time. That was the one time I put somebody on timeout. Was Money Chuck because he kept saying he was gonna slap people, and I was like, bro, like stop talking about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna get into one live and talk like that, this is the wrong one because I already had my Frank Perez. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
It was so bad though. Short story. I think my middle daughter was watching when the whole Frank Perez thing was going on, and I think we were talking about it. No, sorry, I take that back. It was opening day last week, the Chargers game, and the shit that happened with down on the bridge walking by.
Yeah.
My middle daughter, she was watching. Afterwards she was like, "Dad, what was going on? What was happening on the bridge? What happened on the bridge?" I was like, "Nothing." And then my wife was sitting right there, and she's like, "What bridge?" I was like, "Nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing happened." And my daughter started getting details. She was like, "Yeah, Dad was about to do something. They were talking about something." I was like, "No, I wasn't." I was good.
She tried to get you. She tried to get you. She tried to get you in trouble.
So we got the Frank Perez's, we got the bridge, incident. Good thing nothing happened, right? No, we don't need nothing happening. But the goddamn money, I only timed out Money Chuck because he kept talking shit. I'm like, hey, don't at this point, don't talk about it, be about it, and put it to rest. You know what I'm saying? So,
actually, what happens on the bridge stays on the bridge. Bridge talk
stays on the bridge. Damn it,
I mean, there were some other guys at the pro day that did well. Outside of Mendoza, who had the best pro day of all time, according to some people. I think DeAngelo Pons. A lot of people talk about what DeAngelo Pons did. I think he ran like a 4.31 according to some people's clocks. Even though he's only 5'9", so I think that's hurting his stock. But I think he had a really good pro day. I heard Surratt ran in like the low 4.5s, which is really good for him. So there's some other guys that I think him being black, I think they said they both look really good out there. I don't think either of them ran that day, but I think they did field work and they all look pretty good. So I was saying the guy that was out there that does the draft and analysis, he said he sees 11 guys from Indiana being drafted. So there was a lot of talent on that field, today.
There was without question. And then Chris, I'll kind of throw it to you. If there's any other guys on Indiana that you kind of like, but Design 209, you're saying it takes two teams to trade, which you're 100% right. Who would trade with us if Mendoza is not it? That's a damn good question. That's the hard part. But as we kind of stated before, you also have organizations that make mistakes. And I say that lightly because I'm not saying Mendoza is a mistake, right? It's just I just have too many question marks to take him at one. Hopefully Clint Kubiak and Tom Brady and them, they dial it up and we take him and he is the truth and he's what everybody thought he was going to be. But you also have organizations that might make a mistake.
Shanahan and I think John Lynch was the GM at the time. They traded up for Trey Lance. They gave up multiple first-round picks to trade up to get Trey Lance. So like teams, just because we have our opinions on people, that doesn't mean the opinion is shared by everybody else. And we don't expect them to be shared by everybody else. These are our opinions, and we'll revisit it later on. And if we're right, we're right. If we're wrong, we're wrong. But just because we share these opinions don't mean the NFL will share these opinions. And we just seen guys, we see guys get overdrafted all the time. We just saw it. We saw it last year with Genty. He got overdrafted. We saw it with Trey Lance. We saw it with, Alex Leatherwood is an extreme example. Like their guys always get drafted ahead of where they should get drafted. Jack Best got overdrafted. Dante Thornton got overdrafted. Like overdrafting is a thing that happens. Like, teams, they see qualities they like, or they believe that if they put them in their system, they can accentuate their skills and abilities, or they feel they have a coach that can unlock something in a guy, then they will be willing to take that risk, especially, if you're a team like the Jets or maybe even the Browns, possibly the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals understand the mission. I think the Cardinals are doing what they need to do, and they're playing things smart. But the Jets or the Browns, I can see Todd Monken wanting to get out to a fast start and maybe thinking that Fernando Mendoza is the guy to do it. I can see Aaron Glenn not wanting to go through another season like he did last year with Justin Fields and getting a guy like Mendoza. I can see that happening and getting somebody that the fan base can rally around and potentially extend his lifespan as the head coach of the team. Like, that happens all the time. So just because we have opinions on a guy and we see some flaws, we point them out and we have question marks, doesn't mean the other teams don't have the question marks, but that also doesn't mean the teams aren't comfortable enough with those questions to go ahead and pull the trigger.
Yeah. And Money Check says what it boils down to is do you have faith in Spytek, Brady, Kubiak? And that's fine, right? If we do end up drafting Mendoza, then I hope Kubiak and Spytek and Brady, they all know what the hell they're doing and we make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all going to have faith in that. That's the hope. Because that's at that point, that's all we can work off of.
THEIR, Money Chuck. You're welcome.
I was trying to be nice here. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Cheeto, how many viewers calling you haters now? Know what the bridge even is. That was a fun moment. It could have got interesting. Real quick, D Money.
Appreciate you, man.
100%, man.
Most of the film studies on my channel is behind the membership. So y'all can go ahead and watch the film last year.
So Chris, right? DeAngelo Pons, he ended up running a 4.340, I believe, today. Which is impressive. So outside the Mendoza talk, right? We kind of like beat that one up pretty good. Question is there anybody else on Indiana, right? DeAngelo Pons, Elijah Surratt, you got Omar Cooper Jr. And chat, let us know if there's anybody else that you're really focused on as it relates to the Indiana team. Chris, is there anybody else that kind of catches your eye and some guys that you're going to be focused on during the draft?
No, I do like Surratt. I mean, Surratt showed me that I think in the right situation, he could be, he definitely can have some success. Pons, I'm still not sure about. I mean, I think the 40 is going to help him, but I'd have to see more from him. But I think overall, I just think they're coached well, honestly. So I don't know how well they're going to be at the next level. I just think that, with their coaching, I mean, Sig really just got a good, well-oiled machine there. I mean, again, that Indiana team was strong last year. Those guys. I mean, Will's my man, the quarterback last year. Like I thought he was, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I thought he was going to be a little bit better, but I mean, he didn't get an opportunity. But so some guys just kind of phase out after college. But so we'll see. But I do like Surratt.
Yeah, Severe. Actually, real quick, Sorrell, ask the same question to you, but you're saying Raider Vic. You're saying, what would your guys' ideal draft strategy in the first round, if not Mendoza at number 1? Chris, I'll throw it to you first, man. If it's not Mendoza at number 1, and let's just say there are some trade partners, like what would you take for a potential trade? What's your best case scenario?
Yeah, I mean, I'm for sure trading back. Looking at next year. And again, I think a lot of people talk about the Jets. I can't see the Jets, doing the trade or wanting to give a haul for it. Cause I think, just kind of like what we're thinking, I think a lot of other teams are smart enough to know, if you want a quarterback, you can save a lot of draft capital and just wait till next year, if you're playing a long game. But yeah, absolutely. I want to put, the best, protection or give the best weapons I can for whoever our long-term quarterback's going to be. So, and again, it's not that I dislike Mendoza. I just think, it's kind of like that Genty situation. It's like we'll get Mendoza, and then if he does fail, a lot of people are going to complain about him not having the receivers, or they're going to say that the line's not good, or they're going to try to make all these other excuses. My thing is like, let's get the team around the quarterback so then it can just be a plug and play. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Severe, man, any ideas as what you would take for a potential trade back scenario if a team is willing to come up and get Mendoza?
Depends on how far you're moving back. It starts with 2 first-round picks minimum. And then you kind of go depending on how far you're moving back. Like if it's the Jets, probably a first-round pick this year and a first-round pick next year. And, that's probably the most you're going to get because it's only, 1 spot backwards. But if it's a team like the Browns, okay, now you're thinking like, okay, it's going to be more than that. You get a few picks and a player in this scenario like that. So it just depends on where you're moving. But yeah, ideally not at 2, really, like because it's still not a great draft at the top. To be honest with you, like if we can move back to somewhere where like 6 where Cleveland is, that would be great. And then you can kind of get that, like, I want to say second apron, but there's like players that are essentially around the same grade. They just aren't going to go top 5. And you are right there in that sweet spot to kind of see what's the best player available at that spot. And, you can kind of go from there. Maybe it's a Amari Noah, maybe it's a Bain, maybe it's a Mesidor. Maybe you want to be the team that takes Carnell Tate. If he's there, that's a number 1 receiver. Like there's a lot of things you can do at that 6th spot, depending on how the board plays out in front of you. Then you have that additional pick next year, and I think you can rock with that. So I mean, that's what I would do. But it remains to be seen what the Raiders are thinking.
And for me, if I were to trade back, you have to make that number one pick as valuable as possible, right? If you think Mendoza's the guy and he is going to be that franchise guy that's going to take you to the promised land, okay, Spy Tech, Kubiak, get him. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But if you don't, then you have to be able to compile enough quality picks to make sure that it's worth it. So, for example, I think there's only two teams that I would trade back with. It's the Jets and the Browns. Because both those teams have 2 first-round draft picks. You get the Jets number 2 and number 16 and a first-rounder next year. You get the Browns number 6 and number 24 and their first-rounder next year. I want 2 first-rounders this year, and I want an additional one next year. That's where I think it would make the most sense. Because you got to get, no matter if it's Mendoza or a trade back, the quality and the compensation for that pick has to be right. Now, it's not to say that you trade back and those picks are going to work. I know a lot of people have made that argument to where, well, look at what we've done in the past. Well, don't look at the past. Don't reference the past. The past is the past. Keep it. In the past, it's a new regime, new coaching staff, new GM. Let's hope that it works out right, but let's make sure that you get the right compensation. So that would be my take. And hopefully there is a team that's willing to trade up and give us a little something. Shout out to Jeff, hashtag team trade back. Raider Paul in the building. Mendoza Brady 2.0. We're already crowning it, man. Raider Paul, I don't know if you're going to Bakersfield. We're going to be out there, man. Hit us up, man. Shout out to you. But, man, already crowning it. And so, Chris, yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, trade back to number 6 would be very interesting. I'm with you, man. Let's see. Yeah, Browns could give you 24 this year. I'd take a 6, 24, and a first rounder next year, without question. We got D-Money in the building.
Salute my guy, D-Money.
Big dog with that $20 bill, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the content.
Appreciate you.
Let's go, Raider Nation. Shout out to you, big dog. So, Severe, I'm going to throw it to you first. Not only do you get a 20 spot, but at the same time, now you get to speak on it. Indiana. Anybody else outside of Mendoza, right? You got Elijah Sherrod, DeAngelo Pons that just crushed the 40 time. You got Omar Cooper Jr., right? You also got some linemen. Honestly, man, they had a top 3 offensive line over at Indiana. Anybody else kind of catch your eye? And they had a top defense, right? Anybody else catch your eye as it relates to the draft, and who are you going to be kind of focused on as the days goes by with the draft? As I pointed out chat,
I like Omar Cooper as a prospect, but not in the first round. I've been hearing he's getting first round buzz.
That's what I'm hearing too.
I personally wouldn't do it in the first round, but he's a guy I like as well. Then they have a D end. I want to say the guy got hurt early in the year. I can't remember his name, but that dude he's a monster. I forget his name, but he's a guy. However,
don't tempt me. I got it.
You got it. Yeah, they got a DN that got hurt early, and yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog. I think he had I think he was on pace for a sack a game or something like that.
Stephen Daly.
Yeah, I think yep.
Stephen or Stephen. I don't know how they pronounce it. Stephen or Stephen Daly.
Yeah, that dude's a monster. He got hurt early in the year. I think he's an older guy too, though. I want to say. I think he's like a 6-year senior. I want to say.
He is, but we talked about him, and I'm sitting there going, I don't even see him on boards. I don't see him anywhere in the draft prospects. And so I'm sitting there going, damn, if he's a 6th, 7th rounder, pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Especially to lock him in, because you don't want to take the chances of him being like a UDFA and going somewhere else. If he's there in the 7th, go ahead and pull the trigger.
Yeah, chat. Let us know also. Is there anybody else outside of Fernando? All right. Is there anybody else that you are interested in possibly bringing in? I apologize if I may have skipped a couple, but let me know if there's anybody else that you're looking for as it relates to the Indiana roster, because that's some of the points that I've made, that we've made on this channel, is that given the fact that Indiana had the 2nd best defense in college football. They had the 4th best running game in college football, right? That's one of the things that you have to be able to take into consideration as it relates to just how well that they beat teams, how efficient that entire just offense and just the games went. And so I'm telling you one guy that I got my eye on as it relates to maybe day 2. It's I think 3rd round, maybe even going to day 3, 4th round, is that linebacker, Aiden Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I understand that we addressed the linebacker position pretty heavy in free agency, which is great, but we're also running the 3-4, right? And so now you got N'Kobe Dean, you got Quay Walker, right? But where else do we got? Shout out to our boy Jamba, right? Tom Yami.
Yeah.
You never know if he's going to be in the UFL. You just never know. But
Yeah.
the thing is
back on PTO. He gonna be back.
You're running a 3-4. Are we going to pull up some of the safeties like a Jeremy Chin to kind of be more of a box safety, which will compensate for one of the linebacker positions at time? But how much are you going to rely on that? And so do we bring in another inside linebacker, another guy that can kind of now allow Quay Walker to kind of move around? I think if you give Quay Walker the luxury to kind of line up outside and blitz him off the edge and kind of get creative with him, I think that could be dangerous. So in my opinion, I think a linebacker that Fisher from Indiana, I think that's a guy without question that could be very interesting to kind of bring in. But I kind of said this very early on. This was prior to us picking up the kid from the Buffalo Bills. DeAngelo Pons looks like a damn good slot corner to me. He doesn't have the size to be an outside corner, but I think pulling him into the slot and maybe bringing him in as a slot corner, I think would be a pretty good, just a pretty good. You want to be able to take a look at it, essentially. But by us bringing in the Bills guy, I think that because DeAngelo Pons will most likely be a 2nd rounder, I just don't know if I address it at that point. I think we have bigger needs. But as it relates to the Indiana team, I think those are the guys I'm taking a look at. Now, we have the offensive line. Chris, I'm going to throw this to you, man. Any offensive lineman, you got that Cooper kid, that center kid, any offensive lineman you'd maybe take a flyer on that Indiana squad?
To be honest, I don't know. Yeah, I know there's a few that are nice, but by name, I can't even say I can call anyone out.
I think Coogan is like the most well-known one. Was the center that came over from Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think Coogan is definitely, without question, the biggest name. But I just don't know where he's going to land. And this is where I think it's tough. Is a lot of people, and I don't knock anybody for it, a lot of people take so much credit in the mock draft simulators, and we're going to start doing our mock drafts. Shout out, we got to find our little Willie Lampkin or Willie Lamp. We got to find him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to find my Jacob Parrish. Screw y'all, chat. God damn it. But like those mock draft simulators, I think just kind of give a false indication where these guys are going to go, right? You could probably get Cooper right now, the center, in like the 7th round, damn near. Yeah. But there's a good chance he might go in the 3rd. If there's a center needy team and he was the focal point of one of the top 3 offensive lines in college football last year, people are going to take a swing, right? And so I think that's where it's really tough because the mock draft simulators just give you a really bad indication where these guys are actually going to go. Outside the 1st round, the 1st round is pretty locked in for the most part. So I think that's where it makes it tough. So shout out, Myra in the building. It's official. April, countdown to the draft. Can't wait to see you guys in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Shout out to everybody.
Happy belated. Isn't her birthday recently, Myra? The other day? Forgot when. It was last week? I
think it was 28th.
28th, okay. Yeah, happy belated birthday to you.
A good thing it's not in the month of April because typically people have birthday months, and we know how Myra G does it. So it ain't gonna be the birthday month, Myra G. All right, so
she might do it from the 20th to the 28th. No, Harry. It's like
shout out to Myra G. Hey, if you guys are gonna be in the draft, hit us up on social media. Shout out to everybody. We definitely love to put names to faces, chop it up with everybody. As much as we get a little live in these lives, man, it's all love without question. And Alfredo, shout out to you. There's no guarantees in next year's draft. There's no guarantees in this draft.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to do your homework, and that's why you have to check as many boxes as possible. Again, shout out to Money Chuck. Some people have more boxes than others. You know what I'm saying? So, destroying the weights. Fisher's nice. Yeah, it's definitely a guy, man. If he drops, he falls a little bit. We might need a little depth. Cheeto, I do like Pons. That was before the 4-3. Yeah, I liked him too.
I was like 5'8" though.
That's why I thought I liked him as a slot corner. I thought it's just the quickness, and now you see the speed, and he's got the instincts, and you can play him closer to the line of scrimmage because what he showed at Indiana, he'll come up and hit somebody.
Yeah.
5'9" don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And so
he plays like Devin Witherspoon. Like that's like if he was a little bit tall, if he was 5'11", 6 feet tall, he'd be a lock first round pick. But you know.
But at 5'9", I do think that people can potentially take a flyer on him as a potential slot corner, especially given the fact that he just knocked out his 40 time. So we'll see just kind of how it works. But I did like the tape on him even prior to that 40 time. Shout out to Leo. Jason Rodriguez in the second round. Play all linebacker spots and Knight's depth, man. Chris, what's your thoughts on Jacob Rodriguez?
I've been very high on him, to be honest. But I think getting him in the second round, that's a little too rich for me, especially because we spent so much money on linebackers and stuff during free agency. But I do like him as a prospect. If we didn't do what we did in the free agency, then I would be high on him. But I couldn't see doing it second round. But he's a dog. I think he's going to be a real solid guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Severe, your thoughts?
I like Jacob Rodriguez, but yeah, I don't see us making after the financial investments we made at linebacker. I don't see us spending the kind of draft capital it would take to draft Jacob Rodriguez in this upcoming draft. You know what? Hey, free Dev. Bring back Dev.
Bring back Dev.
Give Dev another shot. Give Dev. Don't put him in coverage.
And look, if you guys don't know, if you guys are new to the channel, we break down game film during the season, and we don't just talk about it, we show it. And one thing that I've always preached, and I know my guys kind of feel the same way, it's not necessarily about just the highlights or the flashes, it's about the body of work. And that's one thing that we try to show on this channel is the body of work of players. And Josh, man, you up in, you're talking about Shedeur Sanders. Like, that's why my take on Shedeur, it wasn't about the flashes or the you got to break down the game film and understand the body of work and how it translates to the NFL. And that's why the third round grade. So, if you guys roll on this side, if you guys join this chat and this channel, man, trust me, we're going to give you our real thoughts, and it's not about being popular. It's about just sharing what we truly feel. We'll see how that works out for everybody. My thing on Jacob Rodriguez, I think Jacob Rodriguez is a dog, man. I think that kid can go sideline to sideline. Prior to us bringing in some pieces of linebacker room, man, I really want us to go after him. I would even make the argument that if you continued to maybe try to get him, if he falls, or if you trade back at pick number 30, I think we have 36. If you trade back and he falls, and you will, again, it's the same concept of Aiden Fisher. You put Aiden Fisher in the middle, you let Quay Walker move around. Yeah. And now you're playing guessing games with the offense. You're forcing that quarterback to have to make sure you know where Quay Walker is and make those line protection calls and play a chess match with that offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that's only if at this point Jacob Rodriguez falls. So
Jacob Rodriguez, he plays a lot like a linebacker that Chris might know. A guy by the name of Luke. By the name of Luke Kuechly.
Got it. I got to get the timing right. Our boy Luke Kuechly, shout out. Hey, and I love the plug, Severe, because just so you guys know, once the draft is done and once we don't have a whole lot to talk about, things start to slow down. We're gonna bring back the games, start them, bench them, cut them. I'm gonna put out guess the logo, and I'm gonna be better at it. Goddamn, my guys here just guessed it real quick. I thought I was tricky. I didn't confuse nobody.
Nah, one of them I didn't get. Yeah, I wasn't 100% on that.
All right. Yeah.
I can't remember which one I missed. Was it? I don't remember which one I missed. I think I missed one too. I can't remember.
Yeah,
One of them was easy though. I think the
Yeah.
Eagles one was easy. It was the easy one.
Yeah.
Everybody
I don't care. I'm tricking all you goddamn guys next time. Goddamn it. Cheeto Rodriguez, my favorite player this draft outside of Love. We all know you like Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, and his third favorite player is Malachi Fields. That's like
Exactly right. Exactly.
Or no. His third favorite player is Diego Pavia.
Yeah, I'm about to say he like Pavia. That was this guy.
But not on the field reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Cheeto though. Hey,
The MILF.
Hey, shout out to everybody that tapped in with us, man. Hey, we're gonna get out of here. We yelled at you enough about Fernando Mendoza, and shout out to everybody that rocks with us, man. We definitely appreciate it. Like I said before, look, we're just gonna give you our true evaluation. It's not about what's popular. It's not about what everybody wants to rock out with. What up, Rafa? What's going on, man? Make sure you guys go check out Rafa, man. 100%, man. But we appreciate everybody that rocks with us. Make sure, even though they're not rocking tonight, make sure you guys go over, check out Cheeto Linus, LV Raider Nate. You got Jeff. You got Rebel in the building. He showed through as well. Appreciate you.
Leo, Rundown.
No, there's a fourth one. Damn, well, Jay Raider. Shout out to him. Check out Rundown for sure, man. Hey, look, at the end of the day, we're just giving you our opinions. And that's and we're not here to be popular. We're just here to kind of give you what we feel is right. And you can disagree, but just know if you want to disagree, you better come with the heat because we want to bring it back to you. And we have a little bit of fun doing it with drink in hand. So appreciate y'all. Hey, definitely let everybody know what you got going on. I'm gonna throw it to you, Severe, first, man. Let everybody know what you got going on throughout the week because you got your goddamn late night shows, bro. It's nice.
Yeah, my God. Man, you guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here. Find me on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, X, IG, Kick, Twitch, True Social. All my folks out there. All my folks out there paying $5 a gallon for some gas. Yeah, you can find me on True Social. Yeah, man. Sundays and Wednesdays, my guy Chris Protector Shield and 805 Raider, the Raider War Room, and Tuesdays and Thursdays with my guy Pharaoh NFL, 50/50 show and Around the Shield. Monday, I do my freelance thing, and on my free time, I'm finding my power through purpose.
I'm putting it up. I got it. Goddamn Myra. Don't do that. Goddamn it. Right away. The bridge was good times. And just so y'all know, y'all hear the backstory at some point, but your boys are ready. Don't worry. Chris, man, let everybody know what you got going on, especially your show with Dub, man. Fire show without question on the weekends.
Yeah, man. So is my boy Dub, man. So you guys know I'm just doing this show every Wednesday and Sunday with my brothers, man. And they got my show with Dub every Saturday. We're probably going to take a little break and wait till after the draft, though, to get back going. Because really, Dub's been cooking, man. He got a lot going on. So definitely check out his channel. I know he got a little show going on with the Violator where they're going around and going to different cigar spots and kind of talking to the details of the whole cigar world. So it's pretty cool, man. So salute to my boy Dub.
Stogie Nation.
Yeah.
Stogie Nation?
Yeah, Stogie Nation. Yeah, that's the name. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Shout out to him, man.
This is what we all want to know, Chris. This is what we all want to know. Look,
Leo,
the weekly Raider Wire, I'm good with that, but I need you know the title I gave it. I don't even need to put it out there.
No. Leo, put it together. We got to get the guys together. We got to you guys call it TRS. I'm not part of TRS. You guys got your TRS, but put it together. Get Rundown. Get Turf. Get our guys. We got to get one at least once a month, Leo. Man, put it together. Have a little bit of fun.
805, you're TRS family too, really, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sure,
saying?
man.
We all the same, man. We all the same.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate it. Now I feel it. Okay, I'm gonna finish off this bottle now that I'm
Oh yeah, you affiliated, man.
love it. But real quick, Mason, we're gonna answer this one question. How do you feel about the Max Crosby thing? I think it was bullshit on the Ravens. I wanted to trade Max because of the timeline. I wanted 2 first rounders. I was excited for it, but it didn't work out. Hopefully, Max works out. Chris, quick thoughts.
Yeah, I was devastated, absolutely devastated. I ain't gonna lie, man.
14.
Man.
14.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't seen Chris that mad since Capco was working.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Capco. Yeah, no, I was pissed. I was pissed, man. I was pissed.
Yeah, I'm still feeling it. Every time we do a mock draft, I'm gonna be mad about that trade. Just so y'all know.
Yeah, shout out Darren, man. Hey, shout out to I think you're shouting out Chris's show with Dub, man.
No, he was talking to the other Chris that's in the chat.
Oh, my bad. Still a cool show though. Hey, still a cool show.
It is a good show. It is a good show. Salute to my boy Dub.
And shout out, we're gonna be in Pittsburgh. All right, Jeff's gonna be in Pittsburgh as well.
Oh, that's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
Hey, it's gonna be fire. We can have some FanDuel bets. That's what I'm excited for. I'm just letting you know. FanDuel bets. God damn it. The Vegas lines are killing me out here. Jesus Christ, man. It's good shit though. Hey, appreciate you right away. Hey, we're gonna get out of here, man. Appreciate everybody that's rocked with us. Do us a big favor. Double tap that screen. If you like what you're hearing, if you don't, whatever, it is what it is. Do you? We'll do us.
Hey, Chris, you're right. That his glass is never ending. It's never ending, man.
Oh no. Hey, it's about to end though, because I'm going through.
Look at it. Yeah, that's only when it ends, when the bottle's done.
Yeah, but the thing is though, I just got accepted to TRS, so we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
Now. Oh yeah. Man, the only time I bring out the bottle is when I need to get a little bit live, because obviously Fernando Mendoza Pro Day, I was gonna get a little live.
Adam Butler.
Adam Butler.
Adam Butler. Yeah, that was your day. That was your day right there. That was your day to shine.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kubiak. The Kubiak, you had a glow.
Too,
yeah, you had a glow.
That was your day too, yeah.
Because I got to reference it. I get so much goddamn hate. I got to reference it. I don't even know what that is. Hummer VS. But hey, we're going to laugh at it. I don't care. But hey, shout out to everybody. Appreciate everybody rocking with us. Appreciate everybody pulling through.
Hey, that's a true statement. There's a lot of bridges in
Pittsburgh. Hey, Pittsburgh better watch out. Better watch out.
Don't be around a bridge.
Man,
don't be around a bridge with 805s around.
If you see us mobbing on the bridge, just walk the other way.
No. Don't be around if Severe's around.
Yeah,
I was game though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For sure was game.
Yeah. Severe started it.
I did start it. I'm sure nobody's surprised by that.
Yeah. I found out whoever Severe started with, I found out who his boy was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, not you identified yourself.
Yeah.
Shit goes down, you're down first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Out of there.
But that's neither here nor there. No more story talking. God damn it, chat. Don't be bringing shit up. But we're going to get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all. Double tap that screen. Hit the like button. Hit the sub button. We do a sub-only chat to show appreciation to our subscribers. We appreciate all the members, the subscribers, the super chats, the members, everybody, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Keep rocking with us. We're going to break down some game film of Fernando Mendoza. We're going to break down some game film of Ty Simpson. We're also going to break down some game film of some offensive linemen, because obviously we may address that in the draft. And so we're going to break down some game film of that as well. Whether you like it or you hate it, we don't care. Just keep rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. So we're going to get the hell out of here, man. Double tap it. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Check in with us on Sunday. We're going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Power through. Find your purpose.
Find your purpose.